VB Academy of Commerce and Business Studies. I am Dr. Bhikshapati, Head Department of Commerce, SRR Government Arts and Science College, Karimnagar, Telangana, India. My email ID is bvijayagiri@gmail.com. I am going to deliver a lecture on Business Statistics 1. This is part and parcel of second year BCom third semester students. What is statistics? Statistics is number statement according to one author. Different authors are given different definitions to the statistics. Application of statistics into the business is called business statistics. That means statistical theories, all the theories which are applicable to the business situations is called business statistics. So Horace Seacrest is a statistician who defined the statistics in an idealistic way. He stated that statistics is the aggregation of facts affected to a marked extent by multiplicity of causes, numerically expressed, enumerated, or estimated according to reasonable standards of accuracy, and collected in a systematic manner for a predetermined purposes and placed in a relation to each other. The special characteristics are derived from that definition shows the most of the statistics. So they are, number one, statistics are the aggregates of facts. Aggregates of the facts means it's the collective combined results of all the elements in the total statistics collected as part of the data. It is not a single element or respondent. Number two, statistics are affected by a number of factors. Statistics must be reasonably accurate. So statistics are affected by the results of the statistics are affected by a lot of number of factors. The factors influence the results of the statistics. The third point says it must be reasonably accurate. That's why the statistic must be reasonably accurate. So to minimize the effects of the factors. Number four, statistics must be collected in a systematic manner. So how we achieve the accuracy? By collecting systematically, by removing the bias, by removing discretion, and the data must be collected without any what we call is without any other apprehensions. The next fifth one is, so the statistics must be generated for a predetermined purpose. Statistics, the results of the statistics must be generated for the purpose of the objective which are already drawn before starting the collection of the data. The sixth point is, statistics should be placed in relation to each other. It says statistics individually cannot have no meaning, and the results can be comparable. If the comparison made, then only you will find the whether you have achieved the growth or any decline in the growth or good performance, bad performance. In that way you can interpret. So the next point is, what are the objectives of statistics? Statistics for managerial decision making. Statistics is managerial decision making. So managerial decision making means here The important function, the major important function of the management in the business is called taking decisions. So decision making is requires some supportive data, so that the decision must go in a proactive manner. So for that purpose, the statistics will help the manager to go with a decision or not to go with a decision. So here, to know how to properly present information. So the objectives of the statistics is to know how to properly present information. Number two, to know how to draw conclusions about populations based on sample information. To know how to draw conclusions about populations based on sample information. So here, the conclusion, drawing a conclusion is based on either the population or the sample part of the population. So taking a sample data from a big data or big population, so in which a systematically drawn sample also have the properties of total population. Hence, you will cut down the expenses, time, and your resources, so that these results of the sample information also interpretable or extended to the total population statistics. So next point is to know how to improve processes. So generally the statistics help the decision maker to improve the present processes, how far better you can do than the existing. So next point is to obtain the reliable forecast. How to obtain the reliable forecast? Forecast means to estimate about the near future or coming future. So forecasting is not just it's not an astrology, just saying about or something. It is based on the existing data and extrapolating or continuing with this the existing data or existing and past data. So these are the important objectives of the statistics. Here, so what is business statistics? I said business statistics is the application of statistical theory into the business situations. Is business statistics. So why what are the scope of the business statistics? Normally demand forecasting, so production forecasting and price forecasting, price determination, and etc etc. So all this comes into the picture. So now coming to the how to collect data. What are the sources? Sources of the data are two kinds. One is primary, number two is secondary. Primary data means the sources where the investigator, the researcher himself or with his representative have to go and collect the data according to the tools he designed for the purpose of objectives. Number two is the secondary data. Secondary data is this data source where data has been collected by others for their own objectives, not your objective. But, however, the data may be useful partially to your purposes, or it may be a small part of your data, so that your research work or your statistical compilation will become full. So for that purpose, there are two sources. One is primary data. Number two is secondary data. Primary data is very accurate, very tailor made. Whereas coming to the secondary data, which may suit your purposes which may not suit your purposes, but according to the situations you may draw some data from that one so that your objective may fulfill. Coming to the sub sources of the how to collect, what are the methods, subsources of the primary data. Coming to the subdivisions, how to collect the data. So first one I'll take the experimentation method. So experimentation means it is under the controlled factors, a set of controlled restrictions. That means under the lab environment, laboratory. In the lab, you can do a mixing of 2 or 3 chemicals so that you will find what is the reaction, what is the resultant chemical you are going to produce. So that is the that may be because you have every control on the factors involved in that one. So here the experimentation is used for natural and physical sciences more majorly. Sometimes it may be used in the social sciences where it is related to the behavior psychology of the human beings. So however, the most of the data, the method of collection of data under the social sciences, including businesses, will not be conducted by experimental method. It may be conducted in the survey method, observation method, and interview method. So interview method where the transaction between the respondent and the data collecting investigator is face to face, where he interviews, he asks some questions, poses some questions, and the respondent will give you the answers. That answers whether he is lying or he is genuinely saying, you will find from his the face. Since as the eye contact and the facial expressions helps you to estimate the accuracy of the data, whether the respondent is giving the proper answer or is lying something. So that is what the interview method says. The coming to the survey questionnaire method. So it is a good one because a structured questionnaire is prepared before collecting the data itself, and the same questionnaire is administered among the various selected respondents. So that respondents will give you the answer within that questions only. It will not go wild as the interview goes. In interview there is a problem where question after question, one question answered, it may have duplicate the what we call it sub questions also, but in the survey method it is restricted to a certain pattern. So there are 2 types of survey methods, that is by the researcher himself going and marking the responses by asking the questions. So that is one method. Another method is mailing the survey questionnaires. Mailing the questionnaire means the respondent have that much knowledge to read the questionnaire and understand the what are the technical words used for asking question. If he doesn't understand, then automatically there is no answer at all. So that's why the questionnaire must be prepared keeping the understanding level of the respondent in the mind. So that's why the language, that technical jargon should be as much easy as the respondent understands. Then coming to the observation method, this is a kind of method where you are not going to ask any question to the respondent, but you observe the situations and conditions and things happening how the things are happening. So this, under the observation method, the data has been collected silently without knowing the respondents. So that the statistics are collected in such a way that the objective of the researcher must fulfill. So these are the primary data collection methods. Coming to the secondary data. So in the secondary data, there are print version of secondary data availability and online version of secondary data availability. So these here you are collecting the data from the newspapers, journals, online searches, search engines, websites, or emails, etc., etc. So even the accounts published or results published in the newspapers of a company, or annual accounts, final accounts published in a booklet form are also comes under the secondary data. So next point is, so what are the different steps in the descriptive statistics? So number one is collection of data, as we have discussed so far. The number two is presentation of data. Presentation of data in the sense, once the data is being collected, that data have to be transformed or posted in a different format. That may be a table, that may be a graph, or that may be different types of graphs, different types of tables, so that the interpretation becomes easy. The linkage between variables becomes easy, and eye catchy also, so that the presentation of data becomes an important part of the statistics. This is called pictorial representation of the data. Next point is, so analysis. Analysis is compressing the data into very less numbers. It is called the analysis of data, so that a meaningful results will come. So that data is that analysis will be made using the appropriate statistical tools available in the statistics, and which is suitable for the researcher use. So here there are different types of statistical tools, starting from the arithmetic mean, standard deviation, skewness, what we call correlation, regression analysis, time series analysis, and the testing tools like z-test, t-test, chi-square test, f-test, like that. So there are simple to advanced statistical techniques are available. But the thing is, the researcher must use the statistical tools according to the need only. So coming to the next point is an interpretation of the data. Interpretation of the data means the layman must understand the words you are saying in a particular statistical analysis. So generally the decision making managers or the policymakers need not have the statistical knowledge, in-depth statistical knowledge, but the expert in the statistics, it gives or translates the results into the words and interprets into the words, is called interpretation of data. That itself is useful to the decision maker. For example, you are going to the blood test, you are going to x-ray, but by seeing the digits In that reports, you cannot understand, even many of the doctors are doesn't understand, doctor do not understand. But there is a person called radiologist, lab technician, lab doctor. So these doctors will interpret the results subjected to the other conditions available about the patient. The next point is data types. So well and good, we have collected the data by using survey questionnaire or so and so manner. But so now coming to slowly, we are going to the calculations. So before doing calculations, do we have any data types? Yes, we have data types. So they are categorical and numerical. Categorical in the sense qualitative. Qualitative data, beauty, you cannot measure by scale, or you cannot put into 20 times better. So 20 is the number, 10 is the number, not like that. Beauty has its own comparison system. So the performance of artist, performance of the player, so performance of a teacher. So all these are categorical, qualitative. It is based on the factors subjected to the other factors also. So that's why the qualitative data have different methodologies to analyze. So coming to the numerical analysis, that is the quantitative data. So which is the primary one, and we can easily calculate other things. So that's why numerical calculation, numerical data is very important for this type of students, you students. So we are going to touch upon the data types, particularly numerically first. Then if in the next category, next level, in the higher studies, you will learn about the categorical, that is the qualitative data too. So in individual data, so in the numerical data, we have three types. So number one is individual data, number two is discrete data, number three is continuous data. So individual data means, so the number of items or elements are very less, and you need not tabulate or compress the data, because the total data itself is very simple or very small as per the count. So that data is called individual data. For example, in a family, like even my family also, we are 4 members. So for that, there is no need of tabulation like that. So myself, my wife, and my son and daughter. So for that, so we have only four means that, so you need not to tabulate or you need not analyze great things, but you are taking the same kind of data of the families of, say, a street, a colony where 100 families are there. So for that, you may use discrete data. Because it may be beyond the easy calculation level, so that compilation purpose you can just do. So for that, you can just simply okay, how many members is maybe taken into criteria, family members into taken into criteria, suppose. So how many families are there, just you have to write. First you take the data of the collect the data individually, so and you compress the data in such a way that, so okay, 1 member families, how many, 2 member families, 3 member families, 4 member families, 5 member families, 6 member families, so and others also, 7 members, 8 members, like that. So you start from 1 to 6, 7, 8 up to imaginable level, so that you will put the number of families available. Beyond that, if something is there, you just ignore, so that the total families come to the 100. So coming to the data of the families of a particular town or city. Say example, I'm living in the Karimnagar where 70 lakhs population is there. So here it means you 70 lakhs population means it's large number of data. You cannot write into individual data or discrete data. You must go for the continuous data. So here, so you just compress as meaningful as the data is called continuous data. Say example 0 to 1, 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 and above, like that. So that the family members will be collected, the data of the family member will be collected in such a manner that it will show in between a range of 0 to 2. So it comes into the 1 also, 0 also, and 2 also. So 2 to 4 means 3, 4, 3, 4, like that, because once the 2 comes here in the beginning, the first one, the second one you should not take. So like that. So systematic data have to be collected here. So I am going to give an example of individual data. So in a certain city, a certain month, accidents data has been analyzed. So the data of individually one accident per day, one accident days, 7 days are there, 2 accident days or 12 days are there, 3 accident days, 15 days are there, 4 accidents, 25 days are there, 5 accident, 10 days are there, 6 accidents, 5 accident, 5 days are there, 7 accident, 4 accident, 4 days are there, etc. like that. So just this is by totaling these numbers, the count is, I have written this one. Actually, for individual data, this is sufficient. The first column itself is the sufficient one. So with this, you can call it as the individual data. So to further compress, you have to write into the 2 columns. What are the 2 columns? This is called a discrete data. One accident, how many are there? Just earlier also I have explained. So this is a total 7. The same figures, that was 7, 12, 15, 25, 10, 10, like that. These are brought to here. So number of accidents and number of days are written in this way. So number of one accident, 7 days frequency, this is the frequency, this is x. So this is called number of accidents is our main factor variable. So how many are there? Next one is called continuous data. Continuous data typically have equal class interval. 10 started, 15 ended, means in between 5 is the interval, the gap. You can write 10 to 20, 10 to 40, in that way also it is also a class, but it must have a range, a interval, a gap must be there. So for that, the number of days frequency must be there. So this is called class, this is called f, frequency. So these are the data available. Coming to the properties of the data. Generally, the theory says when the population size is large, these are the properties. So normal distribution is a concept where your data grows or increases and increases and increases. The properties are 100% accurate to this bell-shaped curve. So there is a concept and actual, there are 2 different things, of course. Theory says when it is to a larger data, it really have the property of perfect bell-shaped curve. So where the center axis have the average or the central tendency or the arithmetic mean, x bar, mean, median have same results. So this is ideal data. In this data, you will have 50% this side of the elements, 50% this side elements. So here, what is the standard deviation? This is called standard deviation symbol, sigma. It is called sigma. So the concept, according to this concept, mu plus 1 sigma covers this much distance from here to here, means this much of the elements in the right side. So from here to here, 2 standard deviation, m mu plus 2 standard deviation covers this much of up to this point of the total data, means more than 95% it covering. So that means, so very few percent is left uncovered. So that means the standard deviation plays vital role in identifying the area under the normal curve, so that you can estimate how much is the accuracy of the data you are saying about a result you are proposing. So for the interpretation, you will put some here to here cap, here to here, this is a cap. So plus or minus in the relaxation, I am saying that this happens. So these are the important points covered in the today's session. Hope you have understood. I am going to recapitulate all the points today we have learned. Number one is the definition. What is the business statistics? What is the statistics first, and what is the business statistics? So application of business statistical theory into the business situations is called business statistics. What is the statistical theory? Statistical theory, keeping the objective, predetermined objective mind, you collect the data, you prepare them in a systematic manner, and you analyze them and interpret the same data so that the decisions will be taken accurately, appropriately. So this is about the statistics. So, and we have covered the what are the sources of data collection. So there are two kinds of data. What is primary data and secondary is another one is the secondary data. Under the primary data, we have subdivisions. So how to collect the data? By mailing questionnaires, by conducting interviews, by observation method, by conducting an experiment with the controlled environments. Coming to the secondary data, what are they? They are secondary data having printed sources and electronic sources. So digital sources you can say. So printed sources, you can collect the data and use according to the appropriate accuracy only, as which fits only you have to take, the other you just leave it. So next one is the coming to the electronic data. Nowadays electronic data is very important, because all the information is available in the websites, search engines, the news, what we call is web news, like data as you go. So these data is helpful to the statistician as a researcher, and to collect the data systematically, to use and them and apply the statistical tools and find the results which are useful, helpful to the manager, the policymaker, to take the appropriate decisions. So with this, I thank all the learners once again, and I request you to please subscribe my YouTube channel, VB Academy of